Memphis.
We're waiting. I'm going to text Scott to see where he is. Oh, and also everyone, you are being recorded on this, so I hope that is all right. Y'all all had an okay time signing in? No problems?
It was pretty easy.
Little technical difficulties here. Hold on. Hello, JT.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Thanks. And you are calling in from, or you're zooming in, excuse me, from where?
From Nashville.
Oh, wonderful.
Yeah, we're excited.
Looks like we have a full house. I'm going to give it a few more minutes. Hold on. Hold on 1 second, sorry.
What's the draining?
Yeah. Had to go get a. She said she can't get the hose out of the washer. She said that stuff goes into the washer. There's no clamp. She thought she was just going to take it out and put a clip on.
All right, Scott is trying to sign in right now. Our host.
So across the counter to the water to the sink. To drain when they run the clothes, and then we put the hose away and then get it out. And she just said it works. She said she is literally jacked all through. She said she could do it. Oh, which is about the same thing.
Give him a couple of more minutes. Oh, here he is. Hold on. Let's unmute.
Did the owner know that was going on?
All right. So everyone,
You gotta watch it. You gotta
we
watch
have Scott. Scott Duff. There he is.
Have you seen Chernobyl?
Yeah,
So I'm about to mute everybody right now, and I will unmute Scott. He is our host tonight, and he is a radio host in Chicago.
show that Hulu is able to air it out.
You need to.
Yeah, muting everybody. Sorry about that. And he is, Scott Duff is our host from WCPT in Chicago, Progressive Talk Radio. and he will be leading tonight's happy hour. Thank you. Let me unmute Scott now. Hold on 1 second.
There we go. How's everyone doing? Thumbs up. Good. Thank you, Ray. Oh, Ray and Joan. Hi. How are you? Wait. Okay. So first off, thank you so much for joining us today. I'm so excited about this. Gosh, there we go. Better? Sure. Why not? Y'all, who? Oh, there's everybody. Now I can see everybody. Who here is in Memphis? Oh, I love y'all. I lived in Memphis for 8 years. I miss Memphis in the springtime. It's just, so good. So I'm just now being a Yankee up here in Chicago, and drink a lot of booze. Also, sorry, I had technical difficulties, so I'm a little bit flabbergasted. Stand by. Technology, isn't it amazing? Cool. So we actually I met Nora while I'm looking over here, as if you can see that's where she is on my screen. But I met Nora when I was a bartender at Bari in Memphis, and she's a hoot and a whole lot of fun, and I'm super excited that she asked me to join this. I'm also really excited that we have Macaulay Williams, who is the president and CEO of BRD. That's you right there, Macaulay. How did you get this big idea to make your future in bourbon and rye?
Well, it wasn't necessarily a big idea. It kind of came about in multi-stages. I used to be an attorney and knew I wanted to do something entrepreneurial, and an opportunity to get into the craft liquor business presented itself, and I fell in love with the concept over about 18 months, and eventually that desire to do something entrepreneurial just kept growing and growing, and eventually I took the leap of faith to quit my job to go into it full time.
Blammo, that's the way to do it, man. Take a leap of faith. So how long has the company been around?
So the company was formed in 2014, but a new group of ownership, myself included, took over in 2017.
Cool. And what is it about bourbon and rye that you feel so passionate about?
Yeah, so whiskey in general is seeing a boom globally, but here in America, our bourbons and ryes are really growing in sales and popularity. I find it inherently interesting because it reminds me of wine, just the infinite complexity of flavor that you get in bourbon and rye whiskey. And I also find it very romantic that bourbon is the only American form of spirit. The French have cognac, champagne, the Spanish have sherry, Portuguese, of course, Scotch whiskey comes from Scotland. Bourbon's what comes from America. So the history of bourbon is American history. I was a history major, so I thought that was pretty cool. But the romantic side of it to me too is just that it's nothing but water, grain, yeast, and oak that make up a whiskey, right? So it's very simple beginnings that lead to all this complex flavor, and it's infinitely complex flavor based on the aging conditions and the different recipes. So it's pretty cool.
So how long do you age, say the Blue Note? How long do you age that?
Yeah, so the Blue Note's aged for 9 years. So like every distillery that came before us.
You mean like it says so on the bottle?
Yeah. So to get started with aged inventory, we work with other established distilleries and work on contract to get in aged barrels to produce our 9-year-old product. But our Riverset's only 4 years old. It's a little different story there. But we really are proud of the Blue Note, and we're really blending the Blue Note and manufacturing some of our other products.
Cool. And also during this horrible time, you guys are also totally pitching in, and you're making hand sanitizer at the distillery.
We are, and that I got to give all the credit to our director of operations, Alexander, there, who found that opportunity, and we're doing everything we can to keep our business open, employ others, and to help out communities in need.
Yeah. That's awesome. But nothing more American than helping out your communities, and nothing more Memphis, Memphis strong.
Exactly.
Sorry, I'm really hungry too. I made friends of mine just sent me like a gigantic Benton's ham. Anybody have Benton's bacon before?
Oh yeah.
I mean, that's Tennessee, and they sent this gigantic ham, and it was like in pieces parts. Like, I have no idea what the hell everything was. So I got some cracklings, and I thought that'd be good to snack on. Made a little spice rub, put it on there, got the cracklings going. That'll be great with some brown liquor.
Yes, sir.
Also on this Zoom is Collins Horton. Now I'm spitting out food, which is disgusting. Collins Horton, where are you, Collins, in this whole Brady Bunch?
Yeah.
There you are. Cool. I'm like, where are you? There. Awesome. It's like a totally new age Brady Bunch that's happening here. So Collins, how did you get involved with DR?
I've been in the industry right out of college. I worked for the Gallo Winery for a few years, and then moved to North Carolina for a couple years. Been in Memphis with a local distributor for the last 10. When Macaulay came out with Big River Distilling and Blue Note Bourbon, I was the distributor he came and met with. We sat down, we partnered up, and took the brand to market. And after successful launch and the brand really took off, especially in Memphis, Macaulay was in need of somebody with a little more industry experience, kind of know the ropes and kind of the jargon and the lingo and the acronyms and everything else. And I was ready. I was ready to venture out and do something new, exciting. Every day's a success for us. I mean, you celebrate the small wins when you're a small startup company, and it's been a product of passion, to say the least. So here I am, 7-8 months later. Yeah.
That's awesome. So, so Macaulay and Collins, what would you, since you guys have been with the company so long and the distillery, and you're like so passionate about it, what would you say is like the company's, like the distillery's ethos? Like, what is like, who are you, especially when it comes to, your like Riverset and Blue Note?
Teamwork. So we're from Memphis, and we've definitely embodied the Memphis ethos, but we are a team, and like what Collins pointed out is we knew we had to surround ourselves with good folks at every position that knew their respective fields. Collins is, of course, a rock star when it comes to sales, and his resume shows that. And so, as a lawyer chasing a dream, I could handle a lot of things, but knew we needed to have strong people at every position, and Collins was a no-brainer to be our national sales director. And Nora, who's helping host this and help put it on, is our marketing director, and she's got a lot of experience and is amazing.
She's a rock star.
A rock star, right? And so teamwork is the ethos, but I'll pass it on from there.
Cool. Collins, I think you moved. Would you agree that teamwork is the whole ethos, or is it just like a true American spirit?
Absolutely. I definitely say teamwork. We've got a great group of people. That was one thing that attracted me about coming on board. After I came on board, Nora came on board. She's been an absolute joy to work with, and we have a great team. We've got a lot of very intelligent people in the back office doing the administrative stuff. Allows my sales team, JB Blansett and Kelly O'Shea, who are on here. They're rock stars out in the market, being the face of the company, securing opportunities in retail, on premise. Obviously, right now we're in such a weird kind of situation, and we're trying to adapt best we can. But yeah, I've got great support all around me, and you surround yourself with good people, and good things are going to happen. I think Macaulay's done a great job of building that structure. So yeah, it's been a lot of fun.
That is awesome. I mean, and also thankfully, booze is an essential business right now.
Amen.
That's right.
And okay, so I'm in Chicago. It's April. It snowed yesterday, and it's going to snow tonight. I see my friend Helen just nodding her head over there. Yes, yes, yes. Hi, Helen. Boo. I couldn't think of a better time to have a nice little cocktail and everything. And I think I'm going to make one right now, if that's cool with you. Yeah, okay, but I got to step aside.
Fine with me.
Okay, this one is just super. I had to go get my my fancy ice cube. There we are. Do you like, okay, when you're drinking your bourbons, do you like, raise a hand, are you a neat person? Okay, I just see this very this hand popping up at Dennis's thing. It was just a hand. Neat. So people, and who gets a little bit more unorthodox? Ray does. Cool. Nora, cool. Well, this is something that a lot these days. It's just something that I like to call the bitter captain. So you're gonna need some Blue Note bourbon. As you can tell, I've done a pretty good job on this bottle. Just go ahead and pour as much as you want, because these are strange times. And then I like to add in some blood orange bitters. If you don't have blood orange bitters, you can just use whatever bitter, like orange bitters you have. But I love the blood orange. Just a couple of splashes in there. Give it a nice little whirly boo. And then I garnish it with some sterilized and sanitized orange zest. Just run that around there. Plop it in. This is the best thing. Here's one of the things that I've been discovering about bourbon and about rye is, in my mind, it's such a wintertime drink. You know, just being here in Chicago, it's like it's warming, it's earthy, it's got those awesome spice notes to it and a little bit of sweetness. Hold on, I'm gonna take a sip of this.
Good thing it's always wintertime there.
Right, oh, I know. Show up around 11 o'clock when the snow's supposed to start again. Help me. But yeah, so this is, but I found that this is like so great because it just kind of wakes everything up. It's perfect to drink all year round. Macaulay, when you're drinking your, the bourbon, what do you like? Do you pair it up with any food or anything? Because I know you're a foodie, right?
I'm definitely a foodie. Guilty as charged. You know, we'll start from the easiest. Bourbon's really great with desserts. You know, any form of you know, sweet, especially chocolates or vanillas or caramels. That's just inherent in the taste of your bourbons. It's going to pair really well with that for dessert. It's also pretty good with charcuterie boards. You know, admittedly, there are a lot of places that do bourbon tastings where they'll pair every single flight with bourbon. I like it before and after dinner. I mean, bacon, any sort of bacon appetizer, it's great. But, you know, when it comes to steak or your main course, that is wine's territory. Leave it to wine for there. But.
Well, I was making this. I was like, oh my God, it's going to go perfectly with the bourbon.
Yes. Bourbon and bacon, great pairing.
Bourbon and bacon. Hello. I believe that the pig is a holy thing. Oh.
And bourbon and barbecue. Forgot about that.
Yes. I was thinking about that. A couple nights I was making some, I'm also a bit of a foodie. I've been cooking my whole life. And as an actor and a comic, clearly I've worked in restaurants. So I just basically asked throughout my whole career, like, okay, how are you doing this? What are you making? How do you do this? So I started just playing around in the kitchen. And about 10 years ago, maybe a little bit longer, I started a food blog called The Improvised Chef. And I actually got kind of close to being on season 8 of Food Network Star. Yeah. So then during this quarantine time, I've decided to go back into the kitchen. So I've been making some videos and doing some stuff. And I'm like, all right, what can I pair with this? And the Blue Note, which you can find here in Chicago at Binny's, which is brilliant. Let me tell you right now, you can call ahead and they will like get your order in. You literally walk in, walk out, like, and you don't touch anybody or anything. It's brilliant. But I had got some, had some Blue Note. And I made these skirt steaks, marinated skirt steaks. You basically take like an onion and you grate it up, like one onion, like for about like 2 pounds of skirt steak. Put salt and pepper on that, dump that into a plastic bag with grated onion, brown sugar, and white wine vinegar. And you let that just kind of sit, and then you throw it on the grill. But what I like to do is I take the marinade and I add some chicken stock to it onto the stove, and you bring it up to a boil so it kills all that stuff in there. But then if you add in a little bit of bourbon or a little bit of rye into this caramelized onion situation, it makes the most delicious sauce. So good. So good. Collins, when you're tossing them back, what do you like to eat?
I'm red, white, and blue all the way, so just a good steak is my choice.
Right on.
Yeah. Steak, potato. Yeah, I'm just a Mississippi boy. So.
What temp do you like it?
Medium rare.
There we go.
Yep.
There we
Yep.
go. Also, because I knew I was going to be drinking, since you, Macaulay, you were saying that it goes well with something sweet, thought I'd make another little snack for me. And these are chipotle rosemary roasted nuts. So it's just a bunch of mixed nuts, brown sugar, vegetable oil, chipotle powder, rosemary, maple syrup, and orange juice. And you just kind of mix that all up, and then you roast them up in the oven at 350 degrees for 20 minutes or so. They're perfect. It is a perfect snack because it's like sweet and spicy and salty, and it goes so well with the Blue Note, which I love.
Yeah, I just thought of it too. Bourbon and rye too, but bourbon specifically goes really well with Asian foods, specifically Japanese, like yakitori or ramen. Ooh. Amazing. And then Thai food as well, but that's might be my own personal thing, but it really does pair well with Japanese food.
Awesome. So, okay. So I'm doing a pretty good job of like figuring out the profiles. Well, what would you say makes the Blue Note bourbon very distinct? Like, what are the flavor profiles that happen in with the Blue Note?
Hey, Collins is the sales guy, so I'm going to let him sell this.
Okay, Collins, there we go. Let us know. Give us the pitch.
I guess the quick rundown is, we are a 9-year age state and 93 proof, non-chill filtered. For those that aren't familiar with chill filtering, it's good to kind of talk on it. So imagine a byproduct of barrel aging is you get these fusel oils that are drawn out of the wood. It's basically a fatty oil. Some people chill filter that. They chill it down. As we know, fat congeals, so you chill it down hyper cold temperatures, and they can extract that. I like to say, if you're going to order a ribeye at the restaurant, why would you ask the butcher to cut the fat off, or the chef cut the fat off, throw it on the grill? The fat's what gives it all the flavor. Also gives it a very good viscosity and mouthfeel, very round and rich. That's one thing we wholeheartedly believe in is bourbon in its truest form. Besides proofing it down, it's as true to out of the barrel as it can be. But knowing notes-wise, you're going to get very traditional style bourbon, but we definitely feel like we've perfected the blending and the batching. A lot of vanilla. You're going to get notes of honey. You're going to get a lot of caramel, as you know. You're also going to get even some kind of old age leather notes to it, which is the wood influence, obviously 9 years in a barrel. You're going to pick up kind of that leather taste, and then some butterscotch, nice notes of butterscotch along the way. So all in all, it's got a great taste profile. I think I've yet to have anybody say this is terrible. It's a pretty easy sell, to say the least.
Yeah, well, I wouldn't trust anybody if they said this was terrible, because this stuff is so good. And again, with these nuts, it's got like the brown sugar, the chipotle, the rosemary going on there. It's just like, nah. And that. Sorry, there's chat things that are opening. There we are. So, hey, I guess Nora just sent everybody a message. So if anybody has any questions, I guess the chat room is open. And while you type, I need to pop over to my freezer real quick and fill up my shaker for another cocktail. So real quick. I do miss Memphis, let me tell you. There's like, nobody does springtime better than Memphis, Tennessee. It is gorgeous, although my car always looked like a giant bumblebee because the pollen just covered everything over it. But it's, ooh. There we go, all right.
So here's our Scott's cocktail recipe right here. So if anyone needs to jot that down, it is right here on your screen. Wait for Scott to return with some ice.
Back. I was gonna try to get fancy with the bitter captain too, because I've been digging through like all of my drawers and everything. I'm like, I never knew I had this. I had this, what? And I found one of those creme brulee torches, and I started just trying the crap out of the orange zest that goes in there. It's really good. Adds a nice little smoky note to all the other smoky notes going in there, but you don't need to do it because it's really good. Now, Macaulay, I know your fave concoction these days is a Memphis Mule, right?
Yeah.
All right. So I decided to do a little spin on that and just, I don't know. I just decided to do a spin on it. So we're going to do, where is it? So we're going to do our own version of a Memphis Mule, which is just a little more high tone. But a Memphis Mule is just basically Riverset Rye, ginger beer, and lime juice, right?
That's it.
Cool. And you got the fancy glasses, you got the barware, the copper cup that you're supposed to have. I do not have that, unfortunately. So I'm taking my Riverset Rye. I'm gonna pour in 1, 2, 3. There we are. And then I made a simple syrup here. I made a ginger black peppercorn simple syrup. And it really is super duper simple and easy to make. All you do is you take a half a cup of sugar, half a cup of water, and you bring that to a boil. And then I took about 1.5 inches to 2 inches of fresh ginger root, peeled that, and chopped it up into big chunks, threw them along with a tablespoon of cracked black pepper, and just let that all steep. Like bring that to a boil and then let it just kind of chill out for about 10 minutes, and then you strain it. And what you get is this dark colored, I probably shouldn't put it in a jar. It looks kind of like a urine sample. But you put it here and it is this very sort of like spicy, warm, sweet notes that plays with the rye very well. So you take your simple syrup as much as you like. Some people like their drinks a little bit sweeter. And then I'm gonna take a half of a lime juice, squeeze that in there. Give it a good shake. And then if you're a Macaulay, you have your amazing Moscow. You have your Memphis Mule mug, the copper mug there. I am not so high tone. Just got a nice little rocks glass. And then, oh, please don't explode. Sorry, I'm opening up club soda. All right, then you gotta just finish it off with a little bit of club soda. And then in honor of the high tone, it's the high tone Memphis Mule. Just a little bit fancier, different version of it, but you get to add some of that ginger notes, the black pepper notes that play off with the spicy earthiness of the Riverset Rye.
Yeah, something about that rye and the ginger just really work together, to your point.
Oh, yeah. And the thing is, these are dangerous because they go down way too easy. They're so good. This is like
going down too easy and people sleeping on the couch.
Right. We don't want that. We don't want that. But, you know, actually, I live in a courtyard, and we've been having our social distance social hour. So everybody pulls out their lawn chairs. We sit 6 feet apart from everybody. And I was passing the recipe around for this, and it's been like huge hit. Again, you can find Riverset at Benny's, of all places, here in Chicago. And then it's all over the place in Memphis, right? Collins, where can people find all this stuff?
Yeah, in Memphis, any major liquor store, I mean, your top 50 liquor stores in Memphis are going to carry it. Anywhere up and down Poplar Corridor, either side of the road, you're going to be able to find it. We've had a lot of great success and a lot of support, obviously, here locally. Chicago has been fantastic to us, especially Benny's. They've been very good to us. Chicago's really embraced our brand, and we're very, very thankful for that. So,
yeah. And does Joe's still have that big sign?
Yes, the Sputnik is still there. Yeah, Sputnik is still alive and well.
Fantastic. So JT, will I be posting that syrup recipe anywhere? Yes. Nora has it, so that'll be popping up. But again, simple syrup is simple. Just equal parts sugar and water, And that's how you get your basic simple syrup. And then you can throw in any other like herbs or any other flavorings into that. Ooh, there we go. I believe Nora's going to be popping up. Oh, look at that. Oh, we're back now.
It's a messy desktop, Nora.
Sorry about that. Here, let
But
me
it's got
share.
nothing but Blue Note all over it. It's great. Blue Note and Riverset. This thing is going to be my drink of the summer. I'm telling you. It's so good. It's so refreshing. And just putting in that that little bit of black pepper, fabulous. So good. Oh, look at all this. I took that picture there, and I was fancy, and I put a little candied ginger on there. So if you got that, do that.
The cool thing about the ginger is that it's really summery, but it also can be good for like the holidays. I know we're a long way away from that now, but that ginger taste does kind of work for your holiday cocktails as well.
Oh, yeah. Dude, it's never far off from the holidays. I just took down my Christmas tree March 14th.
That's that Tennessee still in you.
Yep. Yeah. You know, it's like I need to feel it. Actually, it was the pure Chicago. I was trying to get my Danish word, the HYDGE, which is like a feeling of coziness and embracing. Like, ugh, Chicago winters are awful, so I kept my tree up because it made me happy and like lit up the joint like a Christmas tree. Did. Yeah. Are there any other questions going on? Oh, I want to know what the smoker on one of the videos. I was sort of romanced with that smoker. This is from Roger.
Yes. So we do a smoked cocktail at several restaurants in Memphis. Excuse me. Moondance was kind of the first guinea pig, if you will. And at the end of the day, it's an old fashioned that they put into a glass container smoke box. I wish I had one in my office. And they smoke infuse an old fashioned, and it is fantastic. And they've done very well with them. We have a lot of other restaurants doing exceptionally well with them. It's kind of become our niche, if you will, our smoked old fashioned. It's kind of what we've become known for in around the Memphis area.
I love it. And the cool thing about both the Riverset Rye and the Blue Note Bourbon is that if you want to get creative and like try to do some sort of like, you know, fancy schmancy cocktail, like a high tone Memphis. I don't know why I'm calling it high tone, just because there's a bar in Memphis. It's really good though. Like you can play around and like try different recipes, but it's all just so good that you just need to drink it neat. I mean, it's a good, like the bourbon especially is a great sipping bourbon. I look like I have a problem right now. I mean, I'm full on double fisting as we're going.
At least you're not drinking it right out of the bottle.
Yet. The night is young. The night is young.
Fair enough.
But speaking of the bottle, you kind of got a new, there's a new bottle design for the Riverset. How did you get to this brand new steamship?
So I'm going to pass this one to Nora, but the lead in is we did some really basic designs to get the product out to market just to see if people, you know, liked what we put in a bottle. And it turns out they did. And so we realized if we're going to compete on a national scale, I mean, our ultimate goal is we're in 7 states now. We hopefully can bring our good products to the whole country one day. And we realized we needed to up our marketing game a little bit and put it in a real package. And so that was one of Nora's first big projects she worked on when she came on board. And so I'll let her take the reins from here.
Well, thank you, Macaulay. I would definitely say it was a team effort. And truly, we wanted packaging that was reflective of something a little more modern. And while, you know, the Mississippi River has been around for a hell of a long time, and in itself it is not modern, we wanted that kind of new packaging, have it a little more textural. As you can see, there's a lot of gold, there's some gold foil on there, so it's suggestive of movement. So the Mississippi, as Memphis is located right along the banks of the Mississippi, at the widest part of the Mississippi as well, we wanted that movement to really, you know, appear on the label. And while we, you know, have a limited budget as well, we needed to work with that. So really putting that foil on there and putting, you know, some river elements. And if you look in the R, there's a little kind of like a swirly do on the R. It's like the Mississippi River, the waves. It's a little tiny shout out to that. It's the river, keeps on rolling. So that's why we did that. So, and then on the back of the label, on the back of the bottle, there is a map. Actually, if you look very closely, a map of the Mississippi. So it's more of a topographical map. So it shows just like the different depths and the currents and things like that of the Mississippi. So that's kind of a very subtle shout out to the Delta.
That's so cool. I just noticed that.
So yeah.
All right, Dennis, I saw you leaning in. There we go. Yeah, every time I see any sort of font like this, it takes me back to my childhood and going to Silver Dollar City in Branson. I loved it. All the saltwater taffy, even though there was no saltwater in Branson, but all the saltwater taffy you can get in oldie-timey font makes me happy. But I love that this new design is kind of like moving forward, rolling on the river.
Yep.
Here we go.
We have a new Blue Note design too. It's about to hit the market.
Oh,
bottle here. So it's also got
different than this one.
Yes. Notice how it's a little different.
Yeah.
Yeah. We added this pretty cool guitar in the U.
Oh, I love that.
It's gonna be our new logo.
Oh my God, it's like the FedEx.
Oh yeah,
The little arrow going on there. I love it. And I love that you got these names are totally Memphis centric. Isn't Blue Note? Isn't that for the blues in Memphis?
Yeah, exactly. So definitely Memphis centric. You know, we want to have the terroir to our home place and all that. But yep, the blues is what Memphis is mostly known for, other than barbecue and the river. And a blue note's an actual musical note. And when you really boil it down, you know, blues gave birth to rock and roll, which kind of forever changed society. And you boil it down, what rock and roll took from the blues was the blue note. It's called a flat five. And Collins can speak to it on the guitar a little better than I can because he's a guitarist and a musician. But it's effectively you're strumming two chords at once, and it was pioneered by early blues musicians.
Collins, you want to jump in?
So to Macaulay's point, yeah, it is. It's a flat fifth. It's actually a note in a pentatonic minor scale that's not quite in key. It's a very kind of ominous, sad note, and it's been around a long time. But I would definitely say, my personal opinion, I think Robert Johnson really brought it to life. Some people call it the devil's note. We call it, that is the blue note. It is what defines the blues. It's a very dissonant note in a melody, and it definitely gives a song its edge, its character, and kind of its personality, if you will. So.
Yeah. Well, I also think
you hear it.
Oh, go ahead. Sorry.
No, I just say you hear it in virtually any rock and roll blues to this day are filled with flatted fifths. They're everywhere. You don't know what they are until you actually know what they are, but you hear them all the time. And once you actually kind of learn the theory behind it, you'll realize like they're everywhere in our music today. Yeah. So very cool that Memphis was kind of the
idea of that blue note, because to me that really does like encapsulate the South in general, but Memphis in particular. There's something like beautiful and a little sad about it, but still like it's a celebration.
Yeah.
Well done, I say. Well done. Somebody was Thomas. Thomas, are you drinking Memphis Mule right now? We got a hands up. Brilliant. Thumbs up from it. Cool. There we are. Yep. And we can definitely agree that there is no wrong way to drink good whiskey or bourbon. Cool. One of the great things, too, about both Blue Note and Riverset, aside from being just, Memphis proud, it partners great with food, as we were talking about, like with steaks. I can imagine like a good old smash burger, like right off the griddle after you press that thing down. It reminds me of there's this place in Amory, Mississippi called Bill's Burgers. It's a little tiny town, but this one guy, Junior Vasquez, used to run it. And you get your burgers. Oh, we got it. Thomas, do you know? Have you been there? And I'm like, yeah. You get it with or without. And it's like, you get it with mustard and onions or without. And I think this, I'm sorry, what? Junior Manasco, sorry, I'm being corrected. Junior Manasco. But I could totally see this going well with that. It's awesome. I've also loved following everybody on social media. Like watching the Instagram feed is kind of like seeing a little like a trail of Memphis bartender royalty. Like everybody's there. You got Parks going on, you have Leanne, like everyone's contributing, doing recipes. So it's awesome. You should totally follow both Riverset Rye and Blue Note Bourbon on social media. It's a beautiful. Does anybody else have any questions for the guys or Nora? Or
because we're closing in on our 6:45 time. So anyone just have any random questions you want to ask? How's everyone dealing with all this? Apparently y'all are quite hydrated, it seems, with cocktails. So that's a good thing.
Yeah, great.
Yeah. Questions? I don't know. I didn't realize that the Rolling Stones would be joining us tonight during happy hour. So that's lovely. Natalie Person has the Rolling Stones as her screensaver.
They love the blues rock and the Blue Note. So
they love Memphis. Okay.
That's so, one thing about our region is it's so hot and humid. And so we think of barbecue, it's cooked low and slow. And so whiskey barrels are not climate controlled when they're aged. You just put the whiskey in the barrel and let the elements, you put a roof over it, but you let the elements, the cold and the hot, make those barrels expand when it's hot and contract when it's cold. And that heat and humidity down here really helps to age our whiskey. That's where all the flavor comes from. And so we kind of equate that to the same way Memphis barbecue's made.
It's good that the Memphis humidity is good for something, because man, I did not enjoy it when I was there. Okay, I'm sorry. Natalie, who did join us, these cracklins are because of her. So thank you. Has anybody ever made cracklin? Show of hands. Thank you, Emily. All right.
I have.
Natalie has. Cool. You have it. This thing that I did, it was really great. I had this big thing of pork cracklins and just made a mixture of salt, brown sugar, smoked paprika, garlic powder, and onion powder, drizzled it with olive oil, and then rubbed it right on the skin and just threw it into an oven for a while. And things are really good. I keep switching back and forth between cocktails. This is not going to be it's going to be an interesting night, what I have to say.
Well, everyone, I can definitely email you the recipes and all, because I have all of your email addresses. And if there aren't any more questions, I will leave you to your evening at home, because I'm sure y'all are all at home drinking cocktails. So thank you for joining us. Thank you, Scott, for hosting. Thank you, Macaulay and Collins. And for everyone from, I think there was one gentleman from California, to Chicago, to, I think there was a Winnetka, which is close to you guys, and there's a South Haven. Thank you so much, and cheers to you guys, and be healthy.
Bye.
Thank you.
Bye. Thanks so much.
Thank y'all so much.
Thank you, Nora. Thank you, Scott. Love y'all.
Thank you, Scott.
Thanks, Scott.
Thanks, everybody. This was fun.
Thank you.
So much fun.
Now I'm like, it's over. I'm just slamming this thing.
Okay, I'm ending the meeting now.
All right, fine. Bye. I'm going to go.
Nora.
Thank you.